Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm here to tell you that trees are freaking portals. And I'm going to open up with the strongest summary statement so that you guys can be captured. Stop wasting time watching us on TikTok and hashtag look it up. Here we freaking go. Let's jump in from the deep end of the pool and set the freaking mood. Tree portals, the activation theory. Check this out. If nature already allows creatures like the electric eel to generate true voltage within living tissue, then it's not impossible to imagine higher organisms evolving or learning to manipulate a similar bioelectric field. Picture this.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Broadcasting Seeds. I am your host, Bennett Tanton, and today we have, for the second or third time, I don't remember, second time, the incomparable Trebles Garcia. Trebles Garcia. Brother, tell us who you are, what you do, and where people can find you, because you've done a little rebranding, so let everyone know.
Absolutely. First and foremost, everybody, I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to be here today, and I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to enter your space. I just want to thank Bennett. Bennett, you're such a great friend. Thank you so much for inviting me on your show again. And my name is Angel Trebles Garcia, ladies and gentlemen. I am 34 years old. I am a father. I am a son. I am a husband, and I'm a God-fearing man. I am sober from meth and alcohol. Found my passion, and my life revolves around truth, community, loyalty, scarcity, and all the great stuff. And a lot of Jesus now. I'm injecting Jesus in everything I do. So, yeah, you can find me under the Trebles Show. I used to call the show the Paranoid Radio Podcast, and people know it as that now. However, I changed it because like I told Bennett before in one of my shows, I told him I am tired of talking about Obama's dick or Michelle Obama's penis. I want to talk about what makes humankind great again. I want to make sure that we talk about what makes us beautiful. You know what I'm talking about, right, guys?
Yeah.
Instead of talking about so much conspiracy theories and dark pilling everybody and hopeless banters, I want to make sure that we talk about what's great about us and how we can uplift each other and amplify, how we can take control of our lives and stop doing negative habits and you know, being setting examples for others, setting the freaking bar, being a fragrance. And so, yeah. So if you want to check that out, you want to check out all the conspiracy theories that we talk about, original conspiracy theories, which is what we're going to do today. Check us out at the Trebles Show on YouTube and all the other good stuff. You can find it also on all podcast platforms. And please, mad shout outs to every single person that's engaging right now in the comment section and enjoying the show. This episode goes out to every single one of you. Let's set the frequency, baby. So yeah, thank you so much, man.
So I mean, we've kind of got, we've got a topic today. I'm just going to kind of lead right into it, man. So the question is, what first led you to the idea that trees just aren't, what's the right word? Trees aren't biological objects, but like potential gateways or even access points.
I did a deep dive on the Olmecs, and I have a theory, which is what the first time I ever gave a presentation, which is funny because this is the first time I ever do this presentation too, so I'm a little nervous. But when I spoke about the Olmecs, I found out. So the original theory goes, and just quick summary, I found out that they were trying to tap into the organic algorithm of the earth using obsidian, liquid glass, and liquid technology so that they can divert and ascend or upload their consciousness into the organic algorithm of the earth and essentially avoid judgment. They did DNA splicing, DNA hacking, and then they worshipped the earth. They worshipped Mother Nature. So what they did essentially was resonate with the earth frequency and ascend. So then I started talking about what is it that they used to transport themselves there. It's not like they put a VR on. It's not like they tapped into the metaverse. It's not like they were on Instagram and they just opened up their Ray-Bans and started, like, it wasn't like that before. So they used alchemy, what we call now science, and then they tapped into the algorithm of the earth using liminal trees, which is going to be the name of my book when I finish writing it. And So originally, the theory comes in 3 parts. It's not a theory; it's a synthesis. And the first portion was the Olmec algorithm, which people could go back to your episode and listen to that on Broadcasting Seeds. And then the second portion is
I'll add it to the show notes for sure.
Thank you. And also, and then the second portion, which is what's going to blow your freaking face off today, liminal trees. And then the third one is concrete jungle. The concrete jungle is nuts, bro. But anyway, before we jump into that, that's basically what motivated me to do this research, bro. I've shared it with you. You know exactly where my head's at right now with this. And you added a very important piece of the puzzle. You brought some mythology into it and also historical facts, which is very important when you're writing a book and you're trying to build, connect all these dots and present it to the people that are not necessarily awakened. And then also, I shared it with the Occult Rejects. I shared it with some other people that I know that like to read, because there's I know a lot of, I'm going to say this right now. It might just offend other people, but I don't give a crap. I know podcasters. I know a lot of podcasters. And as the best Latino conspiracy podcaster in the game right now, people call me Conspiracy Poppy. as a podcaster, I recognize who is a real podcaster, who's in the game for love, and who's in the game for passion and not money. And I know who's a craftsman at it. So I sent it to some of the craftsmen out there. So I think it's very important that I share that. And then the only way to grow with all this stuff is to share with other people, share with other like-minded individuals that can add on or open doors or network my ass up there. So yeah, man, very important. That's basically what motivated me.
Absolutely. Dude, I mean, the Olmec culture in general is just wild because not only, I mean, I'm not going to sidetrack this, like liminal trees, we're talking about that, but they also have like liminal creatures. They've got all kinds of stuff where if you think about where the culture's from, and just we're not just talking about symbolic portals. We're talking about like literal access points, and that's how they describe them. And it's freaking crazy. It blows your mind a little bit. Especially once you start digging into it, it's like, it's a lot for sure.
Well, you guys got to have an opened mind. And again, if I may take over your show right now,
do it.
Bennett, I'm not here to tell you guys how to think. I'm not here to tell you guys what to do. I am trying to I'm being here to present information, not only so that you can make a consent, have informative decisions made in your life, but also to suggest and highly, highly catapult you guys to hashtag and look it up. Google that shit. Don't take my word for it. Do your own goddamn research. I'm sorry if I'm cursing. But it's
it's good. I just, the last point I want to make before you run, and I want people to understand that this isn't sci-fi. This is like consistent cosmology.
Ooh.
That comes from this culture that was literally, old school, baby.
Oh yeah.
It's absolutely, it's not just sci-fi. So take it away, my friend.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm here to tell you that trees are freaking portals. And I'm going to open up with the strongest summary statement so that you guys can be captured. Stop wasting time watching us on TikTok and hashtag look it up. Here we freaking go. Let's jump in from the deep end of the pool and set the freaking mood. Tree portals, the activation theory. Check this out. If nature already allows creatures like the electric eel to generate true voltage within living tissue, then it's not impossible to imagine higher organisms evolving or learning to manipulate a similar bioelectric field. Picture this. Picture a being such as the biggest cryptid of all, the Bigfoot, moving through a rain-soaked forest. The trees heavy with moisture, their tree trunks laced with quartz and mineral veins that run through the wood into semiconductive networks. When the creature releases a pulse of infrasound, low, penetrating vibration, it excites those minerals through the piezoelectric effect, converting vibration into current. Piezoelectric, kind of like how the mic is working right now. Voice frequencies into electricity, into data, and into your consciousness, right? Then we have the wet bark and saturated roots channel that energy downward onto the Earth's magnetic field, momentarily distorting the local electromagnetic balance. And in that instant, Sound, mineral water, and electricity converge, opening a resonant window, bending the light spectrum, a tree portal through which matter, consciousness could shift dimensionally. Whether symbolic or literal, this synthesis explains why cryptids appear to vanish and bend light often amid storms and soaked forests. That environment itself becomes their gateway. I have science, mythology, thanks to Bennett, history, and biblical scripture to back this entire synthesis up. You have any questions?
No, but it is true. Like many Bigfoot encounters, like missing person cases and just plain high strangeness events happen with stuff like this.
Mhm.
I say pattern, not coincidence. Just saying.
There is no such thing as coincidences. We don't use that language here, man. This is a conspiracy theory world. We are not. We're paranoid radio. See what I did there? Because it's called the Trebles Show. But no, you know what I mean. Anyway, check this out, guys. First of all, again, mad shout outs to everybody in the chats. Every single person that has subscribed. If you haven't already done so, make sure you do. Hashtag look it up. Thank you so much for being here. Let's fucking kick some ass. All right, the tree portals is an original theory by me, followed up by the Olmec theory. Guys, I'm going to hit you up with biblical scriptures first. Biblical scripture hook. Genesis, tree of Eden, trees of life and knowledge. Then you have Exodus, the use of acacia, shittim, wood for the tabernacle and the ark. We're going to be mentioning the ark a lot, guys, in Pandora's box here, okay? You have Isaiah, trees that are being cut down. In Jeremiah, idols made out of wood, trees from the forest that are being cut down. First and Second Chronicles, large-scale use of trees in temple construction and worship and symbolism. Then we have Ezekiel and Revelation, streets of lives and leaves of healing. So I already did the hard lifting for you. You don't have to go. All you got to do is hashtag look it up. It's very easy, guys. Then you have the question. What tree species shows the highest conductivity of dielectric responsiveness? I found out that wood itself is an insulator. When moist or treated, species such as birch, pine, oak display stronger dielectric constants. So yes, conductivity rises when moisture, mineral content, and temperature. Today, we know carbonized wood and polymer-treated birch can carry measurable current. And you're like, okay, Angel, why are you telling me that wood is conducting energy? Because a lot of people don't know that. So what about the trees? What do they have? What property allows wood to act as a mirror, conduit, or amplifier of frequency energy? Let me break it down for you. Wood contains cellular fibers that are electric. They convert vibration into electrical charge that, like a microphone. Add rain, water ions, and minerals in the cellular matrix, and the structure becomes an organic resonator. As a sound, if a sound is loud enough, okay, like infrasound, that in theory, this can excite the properties, making the tree a temporary amplifier of vibrational energy. Now you have another question. I'm like, okay, well, let's get deeper. So what I'm saying, if I scream hard enough, the trees can bend light? Most likely. Yes. Let me break it down, give you more insight. Has any ancient or now extinct wood species been used historically for amplifying, storing, or redirecting energy frequency phenomena? Check it out, bro. Yeah. Not formerly known as amplifiers, but the acacia, cedar, and the redwood sandalwood tree, called algum, were revered for spiritual vibration, resonance, and preservation. The red sandalwood especially was prized in musical instruments and temples for its resonating frequency and stone stability. That's called acoustic properties, people. Follow? Come on, guys. Hashtag look it up. An ancient acoustic amplifier by nature. We have what? The violin, the guitar. You have the harp. All these crazy vibrational instruments that people used in the ancient times, they used these specific woods to amplify the vibration. Now, side tangent. Is wood used in electronics today? You know what? And I had this thought. How? Why? Right? It's just paper. It's just wood. No. So we do have evidence today today and in the past, manufactured wood has been introduced and injected in electronics. So let me break that down. I'm going to give you some examples. Guys, hashtag look it up. The wood transistor, 2023, Linköping University in Sweden. They created a balsa wood transmitter capable of modulating current. Okay, that's just one. Let me give you a second one. Conductive wood panels In Aalto University in Finland, they created the carbon fiber and graphite-infused wood panels now used in smart furniture, heat panels, and sensors. What? Wood? Nuts, bro. I got a third one for you. The transparent wood displays. University of Maryland and in China created transparent wood films that can conduct light and hold electrical charge, replacing glass and sustainable electronics. Conclusion, guys, at least for this segment of the show, modern science confirms that wood can be modified to conduct, and again, I'm using quotations here, modified to conduct, store, and modulate energy, bringing the ancient concept of living matter as a conduit with modern technology. Let's take a small break here for water. You have any questions, Mr. Bennett?
I don't. I was just looking at different types of wood, like when we talk about sound and frequency. It's pretty
gnarly, huh?
Yeah. Just a little bit of data though is that you know the little ice age that we had back between 1300 and 1850. People have heard about this.
The Younger Dryas?
No, not the Younger Dryas. It's just a little ice age that we had even during like the American Revolution, where it just got really, really cold. Well, trees that grew way back then, trees grew slower during this cooler period, which resulted in denser wood with closer, more uniform rings, which improved sound. Just saying. It's kind of cool.
Man. That's kind of cool. I didn't even know that. You see what I'm talking about, right? When we share this information with other people, instead of trying to gatekeep the information and you share it with your peers, bro, you opened up another portion that I didn't even know of. Another portion of information that we can tap
The other
into.
side of that is too, is like Stradivarius violins.
Mm-hmm.
Studies suggest Stradivarius used a unique mineral-infused varnish containing elements like copper and aluminum that chemically altered the wood, contributing to the special sound.
I hope you're ready, because this episode is going to blow the crap up. I'm telling you, dude, there's so many good things. Are you ready? Can I continue now, Mr. Bennett?
Yes, sir.
All right, now let's go bring in a little history, guys. Let's make it historical. When did ancients use the wood as conduits? Cedar of Lebanon. It was used in Solomon's temple. It was resin rich and aromatic, resistant to decay, symbol of strength and purity. The Acacia is very important here. The Acacia, the shittim, dense dielectric, insect proof, used for the Ark of the Covenant, symbol for immortality and divine preservation. The algum, the red sandalwood, imported for instruments and decor, resonating in tonal, acts as a natural frequency amplifier. The gopher wood, used as in Noah's Ark, durable, buoyant, ancient, and engineering wood. Sorry, my Beaner accent came out. My bad, guys. The Ashura poles, which obviously the Ashura poles is used. I think the Ashura poles are now still the Ashura. I'm just side-touching here. The whole entire premise of the Ashura poles and that deity of sex is now still introduced and reinvented and repackaged and resold to every single man out here as stripper poles. Yep, I think so. All right. So what the heck? What civilizations use these woods? Here's a short list. Israelites, Phoenicians, the Egyptians, the Indians, the Mesopotamians, all of them employed these timbers for sacred agriculture, shipbuilding, and ritual work. Where are they geographically? All of this information might sound stupid right now, guys, but it all connects, because if you know when, where, how, why, you have all the answers. All right? Across the Eastern Mediterranean, the Sinai, India, of the Levant, spanning trade zones with rich in copper, quartz, and magnetic minerals, forming an energetic network of materials and cultures. You know what? And I hate this stupid myth shit. Sorry if I keep cursing, but it just comes out sometimes.
No worries.
The cedar of Lebanon, endangered but extant. The red sandalwood was threatened, but it's still alive. The acacia, widespread and thriving, is one of the most thriving woods out there in the world right now. And the cypress variants, common but altered through hibernization. So my question was, are they extinct, or are they still alive? And yes, most of the wood that I have researched on are still alive today. Excuse me. The acacia. Now, what energetic or ritual properties do they carry? The Acacia is known for immortality and divine containment. The Cedar is known for purification and sacred longevity. And the Sandalwood is known for resonance, vibration, and communication. Very basic stuff. Now, I'm going to give you a structured summary of why this is so important and how I've connected and think that trees are portals. Section 1, I gave you the 6 key biblical foundations showing reverence to trees, bridges between earth and spirit. Section 2, I gave you scientific proof that moisture, piezoelectric resonance, and wood-based tech can prove that wood can transmit, store, and modulate energy. And then 3, the cross-civilizational evidence. Ancient societies intuitively chose specific woods for ritual construction and resonance, uniting symbolism, science, and sound into the matrix. Now, this is the juicy part. The olive tree theory. This is a subcurrent to the tree portals. The olive tree, sacred and enduring, has always symbolized peace and divine connection. But beneath the spiritual veneer lies an intriguing material truth. Olive wood isn't naturally conductive. Hashtag look it up. I looked it up a lot. I was trying to connect it and make it electrical, but it's not. However, its strength, it's in its dense oil-rich fibers, not mineral or quartz. Yet, when carbonized, some wood transformed into porous, holding material capable of storing electricity, now used as modern supercapacitors and battery tech. In ancient worlds, olive wood was carved into the temple's inner doors, while its oil fueled internal lamps, a perfect paradox of matter and light. Symbolically, the acacia held the current, the olive tree invited it. One was the vessel and the other one was the key, completing the sacred security of the resonance on earth. Now, do you know how do you say door in Spanish? Can anybody? You in back of that room, do you know how to say it? Incorrect. It's not whatever you said. It's Puerta. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I might be incorrect here. But why do you think I'm Latino? I'm not Latino because my parents come from Latin America. No, I'm Latino because my first language is Spanish, which also makes me Hispanic, but because Spanish is a language that derives from Latin, I am Latino. Portuguese are technically Latinos. Italians are technically Latinos. French are technically Latinos because they speak a language that comes and derives from Latin. Now, I know Spanish. I know 3 different dialects in Spanish. And I can tell you right now that door means puerta, and puerta means porta in Latin. Do you know what porta directly translates to in English? Portal. Nuts. Anyway, why did I say that? I just wanted to laugh crazy. Now, check this out. The Acacia containment theory, this is the 3rd pillar of this entire freaking portal presentation. The Acacia was the real deal. This is what's going to blow your mind. The wood they used to build the tabernacle, the same spot where Matt met God, that box wasn't just a holy decor. It was a damn energy bolt, a gold-wrapped power cell built from the toughest wood in the desert, the acacia. The acacia don't rot, don't break, and it doesn't bow. It's thick, resin-loaded, and still everywhere today, one of the most thriving woods on earth. It's the kind of tree that takes heat, dust, and time and still stands tall. That's why the ancients picked it. The acacia doesn't channel the energy, it contains it. It's the hood version of a capacitor, holding the divine voltage without blowing a fuse. Straight up, it's the wood that could hold God's charge, unbothered, unfiltered, divine. Pause. Now, in the Bible, you had to be a priest to be able to speak with God through the Ark of the Covenant. And they would be in a circle, and they would tie a string on your ankle. Excuse me. And if you had lower sins, I would say, you were less sinful, and you would risk it, you would go there as a priest, you would open the curtains, and you would go into God's presence and open this box and have intervention with God. Unfortunately, none of them passed. Many priests died. And when you heard the body flop, they would pull you out of that area through the string on your ankle, through the rope, because you were sinful. Why am I telling you that? What is one of the most conductive elements in the world today? We got silver, we got gold. And what is the element that was using and holding that energy as a freaking battery? The acacia tree. I'm thinking, you know what's also made? Excuse me. Do you know what's also made out of that wood? What other boxes? Oregon boxes.
Yeah.
Divot boxes. See what I'm saying here? It contains
Yeah, for sure.
the energetic pulsing power, the electricity, the vibrational frequency. We can't tap into it, but we can hold it in that battery. It's very important, guys. Any questions, Bennett?
No, that's awesome, though. That's a good point with the Oregon boxes or Oregon devices.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. May I continue?
Yeah.
Now, the Tree Portals Trilogy, it's a full circle theory uniting scripture, science, and street-level truth. The acacia contains charge, the olive invites the current, and the trees ignite the portal. 3 woods, 3 frequencies, 1 gateway, the Tree Portals, globally. Now, the final line, and this is something I requested to understand, and then from other people. Here's a cosmic kicker. In a galaxy full of metals, gases, and dead rock, wood is one of the rarest natural materials in existence. Yet on Earth, it's the key to every portal we've ever built. Again, I remind you, portal, Porta, Puerta, not door. It's a portal. Shout outs again to every single person enjoying the episode. If you have any questions, I still have some more information, guys. We're barely halfway in. If you have any questions, please leave it at the comment section. It is very important for me because I'm going to reveal something for you guys right now. I'm writing a book, and this is going to be a big portion of the book, the liminal trees area, the Olmecs situation, the algorithms, and also organic algorithms at least, and also the concrete jungle, which we're going to tap into today. Not exactly, I'm not going to give you everything because I'm not finished with the presentation, but still. Now, once I found all these connections, I gave this information to Bennett, and Bennett did something for me that I really needed. And I'm thankful to God for him, and I'm thankful to God that he put that in my heart because I needed it for the show to be complete. What do traditions say? Traditions are very important because we thrive off these, I want to say, moral traditions that we use on a daily basis, right? Men have to be protectors, providers, and professors. Women have to take care of the babies. There's moral traditions that we all follow. We say bless you. We say thank you. We have gratitude. All of these things, manners, even though they're rituals, we still have them. Everybody needs off these traditions. We build entire cultures and civilizations off traditions. Now, in shamanic and earth spirit traditions, shamanic and spiritual cultures around the world honor and use sacred trees as portals, gateways, and hidden worlds, sources of wisdom, and even wish fulfillment. For example, trees that are large, old trees vibrating at high level of spirituality are described as interfaces between worlds in different areas. You know who used to do that? You know who used to revere giant trees next to pyramids? The Olmecs.
Yeah. Well, it's just funny because they didn't build pyramids like the other later traditions did, right? Or the later, they did all their stuff in the trees. So crazy.
Yo, it's funny. Yeah, just side joke real quick. You go to Egypt and you ask who the hell built the freaking pyramids, right? You had a bunch of you have Nephilim, you have Jews, you have all these type of people that built slaves, whoever, I don't know, Africans that built the freaking Egyptian pyramids. But you go to Mexico, you know who damn right built the pyramids. They know who the master builders are. It's funny though. There's a quite quick little racist joke. Everybody, come on, laugh, guys, come on. See the brown guys saying this. Now, in Celtic spirituality and related folk belief, the Celtic spirituality sacred trees were portals between worlds. The Celtic believed that each tree had a spirit, a guardian of wisdom and protection. Also, the tree species Rowan is explicitly called the portal tree. In Neo-Druid tradition, a threshold between this world and the underworld. Traditions have been calling trees portals from the beginning, and that's just 2 examples. I got many more. Now, in global mythologies, the Turkish mythologically tree, the Yulakain, is described as a tree of life, whose roots go deep into the earth, branches reach the sky, souls pass between realms. The Hindu mythological tree, the Kalparishka, I probably chopped that up, butchered that. It's more about access to divine abundance, but explicitly suggests a link between human world and the higher reality. The concept of sacred grooves as a liminal space underscores trees as mediating zones. In the paranormal circle, people resort entering or sensing what they call portals in the woods, energy shifts, time-slowing effects, altered perception, often near trees and tree clusters. That's not a lie. Wherever there's moving water, wherever there's moving trees. You yourself saw a giant Bigfoot and giant weed trees. Bam, bam, bam. You see what I'm saying, right?
Yep.
Possible meanings and interpretations. We're going to go on and we have some more stuff. If there's any questions, Benny, or add-ons?
Nope. I mean, other than that, just since the beginning of time, trees have been used as markers, meeting points, and boundaries, bros and ladies and gentlemen, period. And
you have some of the entertainment industry also pulling out, saying that trees talk and that trees move. You have Lord of the Rings, where trees went to war with these other
the
elf like, the fae folks, right? So very interesting stuff. Who knows? Maybe they lived not in an alternate reality, but an alternate dimension. And here right now, meeting space-time at this very moment. Guys, so what are the possible meanings of the interpretations that I just gave you? Given the sources, how might we have framed the idea of trees and portals? Here are some of the lenses. What do I think they are? Liminal threshold, a point of transition. It's from one state to being another, from one world to another, human to the underworld, for example. Trees mark and facilitate this threshold. The implication is a tree itself is not just background, it's an active gate or marker, kind of like what you said. Vertical connectors. Many mythologies describe trees whose roots go deep and branches reach high, connecting heaven and earth in the underworld. The tree becomes the junction and the axis mundi. The implication is, in my narrative, a tree might represent such access point for spiritual movement or dimensional shift. In fact, there's also things, this is side tangent here, there's also other theories that implicate that the speed of the wind creates a vibrational sound using the branches and the leaves of the tree in different seasons, in different directions, in different areas, on different ley lines on the earth, powering this synthesis. Then you have the conduit of spiritual energy. The tree may accumulate transmit, channel, and spiritual power. It can hold memories, contain spirits, act as a listening or broadcasting entity. Only at the broadcasting seed. Oh, yeah. You can conceptualize trees as antennae or repeater stations for spiritual or extra-dimensional phenomena. Then you have number 4. This is still what I think it is, or they are. Symbolic ritual zones. Trees are places for ritual offerings, transformation. In many cultures, they are sacred, protected, chosen for ceremonies. An example, the Serbian sapis tree used for village protections and rites. The implication is that they can serve as an anchor, points, or spiritual warfare, hidden in knowledge of cryptid activity, staging. So, they are a narrative device for the paranormal in strong, strange, or cryptid lore. Trees are portals because staging grounds, and they stage grounds for what else is out there moments. Did I say a mouthful, guys? Sorry if you didn't understand that. Now let's go back to the Bible. It's very important for me. Now Jesus, I always inject Jesus into this stuff. He went to the Mount of what? To the Mount of Olives for how many days? 40 days and 40 nights. Correct me if I'm wrong. He hung out for what? He was hung on what? He was crucified on what? On olive wood. What did he do? He died and resurrected. He conquered death. He came back with the keys of hell. What's that called? That's dimensional hopping. That's exactly what the Olmecs did. They copied that. He tapped in, he opened a freaking portal, and he came back from within. What did he say in the Bible? He did with the blood of Jesus, with his biometrics. You are saved, and he'll bring salvation to your soul. You'll live on forever with him in heaven. What's that called? Ascension. Exactly what the Olmecs did in the Yucatan Peninsula, or many other people that we didn't even know about. This is all in my theory. So Jesus was a dimensional freaking gangster. He's an interdimensional hopping dude. Now, this is the end of the portion already. We're here and we're going to start now freeballing off of this. But do you actually think, so we're in Christmas time. I don't know when this episode is going to come out, but do you initially think that Santa Claus comes down your chimney? No, he opens portals through your freaking Christmas tree, bro.
Yeah.
You know, you have these Dibbit boxes. You have all these Acacia freaking boxes made. The Pandora's box is made out of Acacia tree. And then you pair it with sacred geometry. The stone, and for example, the box, it tells you in the Bible exactly how big it was. It has perfect dimensions. And it has all the elements they used. Sacred geometry. They paired it. They were alchemists. They were scientists. They made a piece of technology that we cannot tap into today. Or maybe we can. They just withhold the information.
Yeah.
We lost ourselves. We lost it, right? Oh, now we sound like NASA, bro. Come on. We lost the technology. We can't go back to space, man. So why am I telling you guys this? First of all, it's because I'm a freaking nuthead, right? I'm crazy. And I think that we live in a concrete jungle for a reason. I don't think that our tires or the fumes coming out of our car is what's intoxicating us. No, I actually think that it's the brake pads. The more you brake, the more dust, metallics float in the air, enough to float like light aluminum particles from the chemtrails, in combination with 5G towers, retaining and amplifying a low frequency hum, bombarding all of your senses, all of your notes, all of your habits, infused with all the crap food that we eat and all the crap entertainment that we get induced with. We have amazing, crazy, insane amounts of people with mental problems, health problems, autism, and we cannot stop growing sick and or being enslaved. I don't want to be hopeless here, but the entire, what's that Mecca? What's it called? When you go to Mecca and everybody's running clockwise around that freaking stone. What's it called?
The Saturn stone. I don't remember.
What's it called? It's made out of stone, right? What did Jesus tell Peter? And on that rock, I will build my church. Rock, stone. What is Satan here to do? He's the prince of the air. He's here to accuse and bend and pervert everything that God has put. People today forget that Peter was crucified upside down, because when you see an upside down crucifix, you think it's the Antichrist. Why? Because demonic panic programmed you to think that way. You see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Then you have everybody. You used to put all our information into scrolls, and now we get our information from freaking scrolling. It's nuts, man. Everything is upside down now. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my liminal tree synthesis. Oh, yeah. What do you think, Bennett?
I love it, man. I mean, the bottom line is that when most people walk through the woods, they see trees as background, just scenery, right? Something to hike through, or even cut down or post on Instagram with a caption about peace and quiet, right? Mm-hmm. The bottom line is I think you're cracking open something way bigger, because across human history, trees were never just trees. In history, for every culture around, and you've touched on so much of that. They were, we talked about, they were markers, they were meeting points, they were boundaries, they're portals, right? Almost every ancient culture on earth believed certain trees were doorways. Not metaphorically, literally. Places where heaven and earth touched. Where the visible and the invisible, they overlapped, right? And, before anyone tunes out, I don't really, just let me say this clearly. I'm not claiming every oak tree in your backyard is a Stargate, right? And neither is Treble. But what we are saying is that when an idea appears independently across civilizations that never spoke to each other, that's not coincidence. That's pattern recognition.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Period. The Norse, the Celts, the Egyptians in the Bible, not mountains, not temples, trees, the tree of life, the tree of knowledge. Later, prophets and angels appeared near groves and forests, not in the city centers.
Word.
Why? Why is that?
Because
right?
They were in the jungle at a high frequency tonality. In the concrete jungle, you won't get no messiahs or prophets or visions in the concrete jungle because you are resonating in a negative frequency. You're being docile. You're being lied to, programmed. Oh, yeah. Whoa,
Yep.
man.
And so, that even harkens to other things. Like one of the largest organisms in the world is some fungus, like mycelium fungus, that it attaches trees to each other.
That's how they talk to underground.
Exactly. It's like Avatar, man.
Exactly like Avatar. It's exactly like Avatar. Except everybody's not blue.
Right, correct. But you got to think of it this way too, is that trees are anchored. They stay, they root, they're anchored, right? And that matters when we're talking about thresholds, because modern science has quietly caught up to basically saying, what the ancients seem to know intuitively, right? Is what you're talking about, is that trees communicate through underground fungal networks, and they generate electromagnetic fields. We can see them. We can measure them, actually. Forests measurably alter human brain waves, bro. We know this, right? They lower fear response while increasing suggestibility and perception.
This is why when you go to the jungle and you put your feet on the grass, what's it called? Grounding. You anchor yourself
right?
to energetic pulse.
I mean, this isn't spiritual language. This is that we're talking about data now, not just spiritual language, right? It's not. This is measurable stuff. Yeah,
1000%.
And now take that and lay it over a paranormal map. You kind of alluded to this and touched on it. Bigfoot sightings cluster in old growth forests. Missing persons cases spike near dense tree lines.
Whoa.
UFO encounters happen over forests more than deserts. And people report time distortion and disorientation and sudden silence in wooded areas. I mean, I've dealt with that. Holy crap. Just like all of a sudden everything goes still and silent and you're like, wait. And it's unnerving. Again, not proof, but pattern. Yeah. So I it's an uncomfortable question sometimes, but what if trees don't create portals, but mark them?
Oh,
what if they grow where the boundaries, where the boundary is already thin, right? You kind of alluded to this with the ley line stuff. Yeah. What if they thrive, especially certain trees, right? What if they thrive where reality leaks just a little?
Light bending is very important because I did an episode with Janet from the Global Nation. She is my pod mom. Thank you so much, Janet. Fucking love you. We did an episode together with red light therapy, and we found out that red light therapy, there's, like you said, patterns and data that confirm that light therapy helps you heal your largest organ, helps you heal. This is not me saying it. This is the data. And I say, guys, hashtag look it up. Cancers and other things that get you sick. Helps you detoxify and all of that. Then we found out about blue light. You know what blue light does to your brain, right? It doesn't let you go to sleep. It thinks that blue light, it's interpreted as daylight in your brain. And I have a theory that if you can get vitamin D from sunlight, you can get vitamin K from blue light. That is the whole fucking Blue Beam Project right there. You think the Blue Beam Project is aliens coming down from the sky, being called aliens, and it's actually the freaking Jesus Christ picking up the church? No, it's not that, dude. It's you talking about it and being dumb, being resonating on a low frequency, getting high, smoking meth, drinking every single weekend, and just working to feed the animal, instead of actually growing on a spiritual and having an intimate relationship with God. I'm not talking shit about your lives. I'm just saying, this is what we live. This is what we are attacked by. Today, I dropped an episode called Winter Soul, SOL, like sun in Spanish. And it's basically, I did it on the winter solstice for a reason. Why? Because Christmas is coming. I mean, it's funny. You cannot, all demons, all vampires, they can't come into your house unless you invite them. And in Christmas, you go buy a tree. That's a Porta, by the way. You bring it into your house. And I want you guys to look this real quick. Look this up. Take the 5 seconds right now. 5 seconds. Go to the freaking Google and define the name Little Nick. And it equals Satan. So you have a tree in your living room for Little Nick to come and give you cookies. This mother trucker comes and opens up the portal, and you have Little Nick, a.k.a. Satan, in your living room on the day that Jesus was born. Patterns, baby.
Well, I mean, you bring that up I just recorded it. One of the things I did earlier today, before our interview, is I talked about Santa. I mean, you kind of bring up Santa coming through portals to get into your house, right? But like, what is Santa, right? Santa Claus is not just some harmless holiday character, right? I mean, if you go back, we're talking about a control mechanism that goes back thousands of years, right? He is one of the oldest, most persistent archetypes in human culture. A winter watcher, a moral judge, and a rewarder of behavior. A figure that has worn so many masks across time, religion, empires, but always served the same basic function. And it doesn't mean he's evil, but it definitely means he's powerful, right? Mm-hmm. Stories that survive for thousands of years do not do so by accident. They survive because they shape behavior. Mm-hmm. They teach values. Mm-hmm. And they train perception, right? So Santa,
thank you for saying that,
endure because he sells toys. He sells order, obedience, and belonging wrapped in wonder, right? And the danger isn't necessarily telling the story. The danger is never questioning it. And you just bring up a very good point that's brought up in other points, is Santa sounds a lot like Satan as well.
You want me to give you greed, right? Was one of the biggest sins. Let me give you a quick bomb. He used to have some time, right? You don't mind if I this is another presentation I did 4 years ago on Evil Santa. I called it Evil Santa 1 and Evil Santa 2 back to back, and I was like, enough black pilling on Santa Claus. But you're right. Let me give you a quick thing. This just shows, you said what was that? You said training perception. What is it? You said training. What was the word you said when I went, damn, it sounds good. So do you know the names of the reindeers in Santa Claus?
Yeah.
They're all tranny names. They're all transsexual deers too. And if you look at this, male reindeer don't have antlers in the winter. Hashtag look it up. It's fucking weird. So what does that mean? Perception is wrong. Why does that mean? Now, why is this so important? Now check this out. Where does Santa live? He lives in the North Pole. Do you know where all compasses? Do you know where all compasses point north? The North Pole. Well, Rupus Negra. You know what Rupus Negra is? You've heard of it before?
Yeah.
Black rock.
Yep.
So it was theorized that black rock located at the magnetic pole in the north, or at the North Pole itself, except that right under the pole there lies a bare rock in the midst of the sea, and its circumference is almost 33 French miles, and it's called the magnetic stone. So hiding behind presents and slowly crossing out the X of Christmas and putting Xmas, right, in the world Christmas, we have capitalism. Ritual ceremony starts with Black Rock, North Pole, and the owner of everything. So because BlackRock owns almost every single thing that you consume today, what is Christmas known for? Giving, purchasing, and consuming, not necessarily celebrating the Almighty's birth. So, man, it's, exactly what you said. Good stuff, man.
I mean, it's just I look at kind of as a assault on Christianity, right? To an extent. I mean, you kind of have to. But again, that's a whole nother episode.
I have the utmost respect and love for what you do, bro, because this is the second time I'm on your show for the first time giving an original theory presentation. I think this one was a lot easier for me to do because I already knew what I wanted. I know where my heart's at. The last time I was all over the place trying to just read through my notes, and instead of giving it some spice and character, I just read through everything. I was sweating balls and shit. So, but guys, I'm telling you right now, man, I think that if you know some piece of information that you could add on to this, tell me. Send me the comments, say something, because I know there's more to build on here. I'm not the most educated nor the most scholarly person in the world, bro, but I can tell you right now, I stepped on shit. This is huge.
Yeah. And it reverberates everywhere, man. It's just the entry point too, frankly. So, and I know you know that. So bro, I really appreciate you coming on again. And obviously we'll have to do it again, maybe even more often.
When the Concrete Jungle is done, I'm going to give you the third portion of this book.
Yes, sir. Sounds awesome. So tell everyone again where they can find you. What's the best place?
You can find me. The best place is going to be my handle at the Trebles Show on Instagram. # look it up. All you got to do is put the Trebles Show, and it's going to be the first one that pops out. I no longer have paranormalradio.com because the use for that is also free and available to be used on Linktree. Guys, I don't ask you to buy, gift, or donate anything. All I ask you to do is take 5 seconds of the day, # look it up. And if it comes from your heart and if you have something to say, drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Did you know it is absolutely free to support someone? You don't have to pay a dime. In fact, you don't even have to put your name to it. All you got to do is drop a 5 or 4 or 3-star review or whatever it is that you feel and talk some shit. Say something to us. You know what, bro? I do this out of sheer passion. Right, guys, I have a day-to-day job, a 9-to-5 job. I provide, profess, and protect my family by myself and in God's grace because Jesus allows me to. But I don't make a dime out of this. Yet I find sobriety, family, loyalty, scarcity, and passion behind what I do. Every single day, I live for this stuff. So if you guys engage, even if you don't subscribe, if you guys engage and drop a freaking comment, it allows me not only to live another day healthy, but also provide more information for people that are like-minded and enjoy the show as much as I enjoy doing it.
It's the oxygen of our shows.
It
truly.
Is.
And I don't think, I think it's just one of those things like I don't think you understand how much it means. So you do. But I mean, the audience. So like, share, and leave a review on wherever you're listening to this podcast. So, and check Trebles out.
That's right.
Well, he's driving to Instagram, right?
Yep, so, driving to Instagram and also on YouTube.
And of course, I'll put all the notes in the show notes. And any last words, man?
Yo, you cannot change the world. Doesn't matter who you voted for. You could only change where your 2 feet lay. Guys, change your thought patterns. And if you have to do anything in the world, please check out and look out and check on your boys. Dudes' life matter. Dudes' life matter every single day. There's more men killing themselves than any other race or any other type of freaking sex out there. Guys, check on your boys is really important. Check on your family members is really important. Enjoy the holidays. I really hope you guys are blessed. And may everything that you touch, everything that you put your mind to and heart to becomes wealth and health for your freaking family. Mad love and respect. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you so much for allowing me to enter your space today.
Yeah. Make sure your Santa Portas look close too. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. Take care. We'll talk to you later.
Trees are portals.
Broadcasting seeds.
The Trebles podcast. Hashtag look it up. Vamos. Neon skies and jungle shadows. Something moves where the wild still breathes. City noise can't drown the signal. I hear it calling through the trees. Ancient roots, electric whispers. Storms roll in, the air feels strange. You step too far past the familiar. Nothing looks the same. Oh, you can feel it in your heartbeat like a rhythm under stone. There's a doorway in the silence, and you're not alone. Hashtag look it up. The night is alive, liminal light. Yeah, we're crossing the line from the forest to the fire. Let the truth erupt on the Trebles podcast. Hashtag look it up. The signal is real. Rockin' rhythm and the veil starts to peel. If you hear that frequency, don't interrupt. Broadcasting seed. Hashtag look it up. Hashtag look it up. Acacia in the distance, like a drum from long ago. Olive branches, sacred timber, where the hidden currents flow. Every culture knew the pattern, every myth repeats the door. Trees were never just the background, they were always something more. Oh, the wind stops speaking louder and the world begins to bend. When the forest goes completely still, that's where it begins. Hashtag look it up. The night is alive, living a light, yeah, we're crossing the line. From the forest to the fire, let the truth erupt on the Trebles podcast. Hashtag look it up. The signal is real. Rockin' rhythm and the veil starts to peel. If you hear that frequency, don't interrupt. Broadcasting seeds. Hashtag look it up. Hashtag look it up. Bajo las ramas, the veil is thin. Feel the porta, let it in. Entre mundos, entre mus. Hashtag look it up. Verdad y cruz. Hashtag look it up. Hashtag look it up. Hashtag look it up. Don't sleep through the signs. Liminal light where the old world align. From the roots to the head.